Ah, hello. Hello everyone and welcome back. I know this is very random, the pattern with which I post what I post about and what it is. That's fine. Honestly, I'm just putting stuff out right now to get myself in a habit of doing so. There are some higher quality pieces on the way. Um it's just, this is a season of rest. And so I've been resting, and you can't really fault me for that. And if you try, I'll throw it right back in your face. So don't. Um, I have, though, in the spirit of the change, been rearranging my home, cleaning, decluttering, um, removing negative habits and energy sucks from my life. I'm also in the middle of rolling a joint. So while I roll up off camera, we're going to have a little chit chatty session while I do so. Um, I don't know if you can see in this corner, but I can, and I'm loving it, is my easel. It's very old, a thrifted piece. It was gifted to me past Christmases ago by a friend and roommate. And if you hear the tiniest little mew, that is Sir Mojo, the mascot, who is, I think, approaching to sit and perch on my armrest here. Or not. Maybe he won't come say hi. I don't know. But either way, we're recording today because it's President's Day. It is also the first day in the last 7 days that I have not been sick out of my mind. I don't enjoy being sick, and it doesn't happen to me very often because I typically stay very balanced, very healthy. But lately, I've been going through quite a lot at work, been very stressed out, very angry at work on the daily. And so I know that anger, rage, fear, all of those emotions actually make you more prone to getting sick because of the stress that they put on your body. Negative emotions put stress on your body. It releases cortisol. Cortisol lowers your immune system, so you do get sick, which is why I endeavor more than anything else to, even if life is hard, not say it out loud, to admit to my stress and instead work to actively combat the rise in cortisol in my body. I recommend you do the same. If you notice you get sick really often, it's probably because you got a lot of pent up feelings that you don't like to have. Like, you don't like to have pent up feelings, which who does, fair. It's 2025. Who's got the time or patience for that? That being said, first day in the last 7 that I did not wake up sick and snotty, sweaty, and gross. So we'll be thankful for that. Also, it was Valentine's Day on Friday, so yes, I was sick on Valentine's Day, but my boyfriend, who got me sick in the first place, did bring me some flowers that we have lovingly on display here. I just wanted to shout out my boyfriend because love him. And yeah, flowers seems basic on Valentine's Day, but honestly, he treats every day like it's Valentine's Day. But he puts a little bit of extra effort behind Valentine's Day, especially because I was sick. So we ended up catching up on solo leveling the episodes that we had missed, which was kind of ridiculous because I've been reading the manhwa, and I really can't wait for some of those fight scenes to be in the anime and to see them in the anime. So I'm very excited. But in true beginning of the year fashion, I start the beginning of my years not in January, but in October, which is when my birthday is. So that is when I celebrate a full solar return. Hence, it's a new year for me as a person. So I celebrate then. And I've had a strategy and a plan in place since then. And I was reviewing that strategy and that plan last night into this morning and realized that some changes needed to be made. And my hope was that I would complete those, or at least logging and documenting those changes, that I would complete the documentation of the change by today. And that is not the case. So we're going to redo a lot. I say we like you're going to do it with me, but really I'm just telling you what I'm going to do, which is that my intention for today, because it is not even 10 a.m., my intention for today is to finish that documentation, to revise it, finalize it, and upload it into all of the necessary places where that documentation lives, that, keeps my life afloat. Places like in Canva, where, my brand is dictated by an actual document with my color palette, logos, instructions for how to use, et cetera, et cetera. That documentation also goes into all of the custom GPTs that I've built for myself in ChatGPT. It goes into all my AI tools so that my AI can read the document and get to know me. I find that putting everything that you want the AI tool to know in a PDF file or a doc or a slide deck file is the best way and the least invasive way for these tools to get a sense of who I am as a person without, entirely biting off humanity. It's been like a mission of mine lately because I'm working on automating and integrating AI into my executive assistant role. Um, it was a mandate, actually. There was an email that went out about a month ago from my CEO, basically saying that our employment was contingent upon adopting AI into our everyday workflows. And that goes for every employee, which is crazy to me because we don't even have licenses for all 6,000 employees at my company. So, I don't understand how they're supposed to capitalize on AI and use it to automate their workflows when not only do some of them not have access to these tools that we're telling them are now mandatory, but it's also like most of them are so green and so new to AI. These are all non-technical folks, not engineers, not developers. And so now not only do they need to automate their workflow, but they have to learn the tool, how to use the tool and what these things mean. And they have to upskill so fast to be able to do that, that it's just it's crazy that that's being asked of us. But whatever, I'm here. I'm ahead of the curve. I've been doing my best to help my fellow EAs and other non-technical folks in my sphere of influence at work. But there's only so much a girl can do, at work. And then, of course, outside of work, I have you guys. I like engaging with you guys. I don't want to shrink or diminish this part of my life. I love being active online. I love being active on the internet. I love when internet things lead to IRL things. I was around for Tumblr, was on Tumblr, super active on Tumblr, and it kind of seems like the vibe that the internet had when Tumblr was at its heyday, was at its peak, is kind of back. The grandpa vlogging style is on trend again, is popular again. So hello, watch me emerge. Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just a crazy time to exist and to be alive and to be conscious and sentient. 2025 is one of those weird ass years where we just don't know what's going on, but everything is going to throw us through a loop. I can already tell. My mother works for the IRS and she's having a field day with everything that Elon Musk is doing. And I don't want to talk about politics. This is not a space where I feel comfortable talking about politics because a lot of nuance is lost when, you're listening to me over a screen. I would rather have an actual discourse, an actual conversation about it. But I digress. Please get to know me first before you just start engaging in political conversations with me because we don't know each other. So maybe let's make introductions first before we do that. Yeah, but I really just wanted to come on here, give you guys a little bit of an update, let you know how I'm doing. I rearranged my whole apartment by myself. My boyfriend told me he would help me, and then he got sicky sick, and then of course I got sicky sick from him, but I was able to finish rearranging my apartment before then. So now we're sitting in brand new, lovely energy, the kind of energy I've been trying to curate in this space since I moved in this joint. And and I'm feeling really happy, really fulfilled, very satisfied. Like, for an ambitious person like myself, and I am ambitious, do not get me wrong. I love moments of peace, and I really relish in taking the winter time to do that, because who wants to be active when it's cold outside? Muscles and joints, like my muscles are shriveled and my joints ache, and then you get sick and it's hard to breathe, and there's so much. There's so much. And I'm still so tired of like watching YouTube videos all the time where it's just like cool. It's either like on my feed, they lean one of two directions. They can lean towards the uber productive, like let me maximize every second of every day type of content. And then most of that's like narrated by AI now too, which is crazy to me. But the other side is just like, you should record your life. You should blog your very boring life and da da da. And I'm like, that's what I'm doing. Host, like, I'm trying to do that and like be okay with doing it, like having my face on screen. And I've just had to do it however I wanted to. But like I'm still just, the back and forth is crazy. I'm still reeling from Not Like Us being played at the Super Bowl. And if you get to know me, you'll realize how much of a Kendrick Lamar fan I have been. I've never really liked Drake, and I know that people say that, and so now it's become like a thing. But like, I have people in my life who will vouch for the fact that I have never thought Drake was a substantial artist in any capacity whatsoever. And I have known, and I have known very well many musicians in my life. I'm not saying they're famous, okay, but these are musicians. These are people who dedicate their life to the craft of music. And I know what it takes to love music. I love music. As a dancer, I have been a dancer in the past, like on stage, paid gigs. Like I would teach people. I have been an acrobat. I have been a yoga teacher. I love the art of movement, and any other art that you can think of. Art is my jam. And even though I come off as very left brain right now about the talk of like AI and data and productivity and program management. At my very core, I am a creative, if you can't tell by the hood. And also, can we just like take a second to admire the hood? It is a detachable hood. I should let you know. Like, you can literally put it on. Like, it comes off. Like, I could just take it off. And it goes with the sweater, thankfully. But my grandmother crocheted this for me because she'd be crocheting me stuff. And I love my grandma. We love you, Mima. Hey, if you ever watch this, we love you very much. But yeah, I fucking love this thing because look at how deep this hood goes. I feel like Little Red Riding Hood, but gray, little gray Riding Hood. Okay. Yeah. So that being said, I forgot what tangent I was on because I was definitely on a tangent. I'm still rolling this joint and breaking down the weed, but it is Monday. It is President's Day. Therefore, your girl does not work because I work for Wall Street. So anytime there's a bank holiday and the banks are closed and Wall Street is closed, your girl does not have to work. And after the week I just had, I am very grateful because, man, fuck a 9 to 5. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to work my 9 to 5, and I'm very grateful for the kind of like flexibility it provides me. And I'm also of the belief that like, your 9 to 5 can really be that catalyst for change or bringing about your dream life. Like, I follow a creator I really like. It's just very elegant, very modern. Sometimes I feel like on my best days, very much like her. No. My cat trying to get in my lap. He's going to knock over my whole tray. Yeah, very elegant, very astute. Adana Lorna, if you don't follow her, I think she has a Substack, but more than anything, she's like creates videos when she wants to. She goes outside. She's an outsider person, and I can't wait to go outside again. It's just not the season for Jade to be outside, so Jade is not outside. Jade only goes outside spring, summer, early fall, and the season for me begins my grandmother's birthday, actually. It begins around the time of her birthday, which is March 11th. Okay, so sometime around after Easter, you definitely feel the need to emerge outside again, right? And that goes all the way until Halloween. And Halloween is the last time you see me outside in a year, because it gets weird. It gets weird to be outside that time of year, especially with like social media and people be all sad and stuff. And like, sadness is fine. I get being depressed. I too live in 2025 society, but it's like, it's too much for me personally, who is intrinsically satisfied with her life. Like, I want to grow, but I also know that growth comes incrementally. Like, I haven't, bossed up enough to level up the way I want to, and I'm in no rush to do so. So honestly, I didn't really start this with a message, but I guess I have one now, which is that, like, it's gonna take time anyway. So, like, you could rush, yeah, but like, why? Why not take your time? You only got 4,000 weeks in your lifespan. And if you follow, if Parkinson's law follows, which it does, it typically does, then activities will expand to take up the amount of time you designated for it. So if you designate a day for something, chances are it's going to take a day and some change. You know what I mean? Like, you could give it a day. That would be cool, but like, why would you do that? What other things do you do in a day? Like, could you say no to those responsibilities to get it done in a day? Like, that's the kind of consideration I'm making. And at the same time, like, if it could take a week, why not have it take a week? I'm practicing something this year. A set of strategies by which I make decisions, and I have decided this decision-making strategy will rule my life for the next 2 years. Is an act of experimentation. And part of that set of strategies is something called the Pareto principle, or otherwise known as the 80-20 rule. Because I've seen this in my life. Like, I'm not just touting bullshit or anything, okay? Like, and you probably have to, if you work a desk job, to be completely honest. Like, if you, the amount of times you've probably done something at work thinking, oh, I'm going to get ahead and this is going to be so helpful, and ended up being like 0% helpful in the slightest, compared to that one assignment your boss told you to get done in like a week, and then you didn't do it, and then the end of the week came and it turns out the thing you didn't do is no longer needed either. Isn't that crazy? So just like, I don't know, dude, figure out the 20% of shit that really counts for 80% of your results. That's the only piece of actionable advice I can give you at this point in time without messing up your joint, first of all. And secondly, is that what gets tracked gets measured. And I have been going hard in the paint. I see what I did there. I've been going hard on tracking things, or just like setting up things for tracking. It takes a lot of work to track things. So I'm also trying to be intentional with what is being tracked. Like, do I care about the metrics for how many times I have like done one thing versus another? Like, do I care how many times I open my phone and scroll through YouTube? No, not really. Do I care about how many hours I spend on YouTube aimlessly? Absolutely, because your girl can go down a YouTube rabbit hole like nobody's business. Relatable. But yeah, we're just gonna pop the window open real quick. This is getting kind of long. We are now at 20 minutes, and I realize that like you can't edit videos through Substack, and I still have to write the post that goes along with this, and then I'm going to also post this on YouTube. So we're having a great time. Hold on, let me just open this fucking window. Either way, happy for the chit-chatty morning time talk. You can probably look forward to these more often because I actually kind of like this. I like this setup, this like random word vomit blog situation. Very much inspired by Doechii. If you don't know, Doechii, who won Grammy for Best Rap Album of the Year at the Grammys. Hello, her debut Grammy. Has a YouTube channel, has had a YouTube channel for the last 5 years. And in it, she's documented her entire journey and the whole catalyzing shift between her, working at Chipotle, getting fired, and then becoming a Grammy winning artist is a book called The Artist's Way. And I've read The Artist's Way. I've got the audiobook too. And I have a lot of resources, but nothing really compares to just doing the damn thing. So here's me doing the damn thing in a way that makes me feel comfortable, in a way that lights me up, in a way that makes me feel like I really want to be doing this, because I do. I think about it all the time, and I only feel better after I record something, even if it's imperfect, especially if it's imperfect, because humans, we're imperfect, and that's what makes us perfect, is that our flaws give room for other strengths. And so I'm saying yes to restructuring. I'm gonna finish editing those documents once I spark up my little Drinskies here, and we're gonna get to work. I don't know if I'll document the whole process. Like, I just feel like, unless you're into the nitty gritty of like productivity and getting yourself like in that zone, then there's not really much for me to share. But I could be wrong, and I would love to hear if I'm wrong. So if you've got some ideas, if you do want me to share, I'd be happy to. Just let your girl know. So this is Jade the Great on a fabulous Monday morning, and we out.